I run in there as fast as I can because I thought she killed him. I really thought that she killed him. Alright guys, I have told this story twice, and the first time I did not like it, and the second time I liked it, and my camera decided to stop recording. But anyways, just wanting to let you guys know that if my underwear shows, I sincerely apologize. I'm not used to wearing dresses. Keep my crotch covered because
I like to spread my legs.
okay, that did not sound good. Anyways, guys, on Instagram, you might have seen me post a screenshot of a very conniving person bullying me. I didn't give any information about that person. I didn't say who they was. I didn't say what it was about. But in the text messages they sent me, they was bullying me. And unfortunately, that used to be my best friend. The story that I'm going to tell you today is about ex-best friends. I'm sure you have one. I have one. It really hurt. I ended up crying that night because it hurt so bad. I had a lot of you guys DM me and be like,
dude, who is that? I'm gonna beat the hell out of them.
and I was just like, that's my people right there. You know, like you guys always take up for me and I love it so much, but I didn't want to give away her name. Actually, I did, but I didn't. I have morals. I have standards. I didn't rat the girl out even though she needed to be put in her place. I did not. But anyways, like I said, unfortunately, she was my best friend. Also, I'm not going to post a screenshot of what was said, but that just means you should follow me on Instagram if you don't already. I kind of like vlog on my stories a little bit, so if you want more into my personal life and day-to-day life, if you're even interested, then you should definitely go follow me. That's some promo right there. I take some cool pictures, okay? You should go follow me. I'm not going to tell you what she was bullying me over. Instead, I'm going to tell you how she's a psycho and why I think she's a psycho and some crazy stuff that she's done. Even though I talk kind of bad about her right now, she actually was a pretty decent friend. Like, she was always there for me. But I think what caused our friendship to fall is because she is very bossy. Very, very, very bossy. She's so motherly, and that was good and bad for me. And she's a very toxic person. Like, you can't be friends with this person if I'm not friends with that person. It was a very toxic relationship, and I've never had like a friendship like that before. We considered each other sisters, and that's why it hurt so bad in the beginning, but now I do realize like why she's out of my life, and it's completely fine with me now because I do so much better without her. At one point we was really good friends, and being really good friends, obviously you want to take a big trip with each other, and that's exactly what we did. When we became friends, it was at VidCon, and we were so close, literally, like I didn't want anyone else beside me. Like, she was my number one. I loved being around her, and when I left, I missed her so much. So we decided to take a trip to California together. Decided to stay for a whole entire month. We didn't just take it by ourselves, we also took it with one of our other really good friends, and we're going to name him Brandon. He decided to come with us, and we was the three musketeers, honestly. Like, we were such great friends. We'd FaceTime each other every night. I think her and I was closer than me and Brandon was. He was like the sassy guy, and it was really hard to get advice from him because he was like unrealistic with advice. He was more like mean and rude. But with her, she was a little bit more realistic, but if you didn't take her advice, then she got really mad at you. It was really weird. So anyways, I was closer to her than I was with him. When we got to California, we all got there at different times. I got there first, so I made sure our room was complete. I didn't even tell you where we were staying at. Oh my god, I'm already off track. When we were looking for a place to stay, we just wanted to rent a room out for a month, and that's really hard to do. Like, we went to Craigslist. Craigslist is super creepy, okay? I don't know why I thought that was okay. That was not a good idea. I actually have a friend from back home that lives in California, and he was in Los Angeles at that time. I don't know where he's at now, but he was in Los Angeles, and he had an apartment with another guy, and they had a room for rent, and I was like, perfection! I loved it so much just because I was so happy that we did not have to share a room with some creepy ass person. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of creepy people in Los Angeles, trust me. That's where we were staying, and we rented out one room. So the room was sort of big. It was a decent size, and it also had a bathroom inside of it. So we all had privacy from the other two people. We didn't have privacy from each other. It was weird a little bit, but I got there first, Brandon got there second, and then Sheila is what we're gonna call the girl. Sheila got there last. She arrived maybe a week later. Let me just tell you, the day that she arrived was the most stressful day. She yelled at me and Brandon. I'm not even gonna get into why, but she yelled so loud at us that I hear it in my ear right now, and I want to rip off my ear. It was so bad. That's kind of how she was. She would get mad if things didn't go her way, and anywho. So that whole entire California trip was crazy. I cannot describe to you a crazier month of my whole entire life. And part of the reason why I wanted to move out there, because I had so much fun. I actually went to a lot of parties. I had never been to that many parties in my whole entire life. And I had never seen cocaine until I went there. I don't do coke. I've never done drugs like that, guys. Never, ever, ever. But I do drink sometimes. Not a lot. I did when I was out there. I had a field day. I actually went to this party. It was like the biggest mansion. I have no idea whose house this was. It could have been a celebrity's. I don't know. It was really big. But I walked into this room, like so many people in the room. And then there was this girl. I remember she comes out of the bathroom. She was wearing black lipstick. It was smeared all over her face because her and this guy and this other girl was making out all together. And I'm just like, girl, that's why you don't wear dark lipstick to a party, guys. Take it from that girl. She looked hideous. It was disgusting. I was sitting on the bed in this room, and there was this girl, and she told me she was a Playboy bunny. And she was like, "Yes, we love you." And I'm just thinking to myself, me? So I'm like contemplating in my mind, I might be a Playboy bunny. She was like, "Yeah, man, give me your number. I can hook you up." And I'm now thinking to myself, because she never hooked me up, which I never would do that, but just saying, like, it's kind of funny. I think she was just a lesbian and she wanted my number, which that was a good way to say it. So, hey, if you're a lesbian and you're trying to get in a girl's pants, or even a guy trying to get in a girl's pants, or a guy trying to get in a guy, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. Just say you're a Playboy bunny. But anyways, that's some of the crazy stuff that happened. If you want to know more, then you need to like this video now. That's what some of the stuff that was happening. There was one night that we actually got all dressed up. We looked so cute. Like,
I look so cute.
you know, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I looked. I know you girls know, whenever you look good, sorry honey, it ain't happening. You're not going out. Something's going to happen. Your plans are going to get canceled. Your car is going to break down. Like, it's just not meant to be. You can't go out when you look good. You only go out whenever you look like shat. I looked great that night, and Sheila took forever. And this wasn't just that night. Every single night, she would take forever to get ready. She would take 3, almost 4 hours she would get ready with all of her baking and caking and her eyebrows. Her eyebrows were so square. Oh my god, it took her 5 years to do her square ass eyebrows.
SpongeBob looking ass eyebrows.
Oh my god, it was crazy. It was already too late to go out. It was like 10 o'clock and we knew that. We kept calling like all of the friends that we had made in that month, like, hey, is there anything going on tonight? I think it was like a Sunday too, so obviously there's not really anything going on, but we were trying to find something. Nothing came up. It was dead, and we were so sad. So we kind of just like sat around and took pictures of our outfits, and then we decided like, okay, we still want to drink, so let's just go to CVS, get drinks, bring them back here and just chill. That sounded fun to us. So what we was going to do was walk all the way to CVS, and it really wasn't that far. Walking distance, it might have been like 5 minutes, which actually isn't that bad from the apartment complex. Instead of like paying for an Uber, we were going to walk there. Walking there was fun. Me and Brandon was having a great time. Like, we were having great conversation. Sheila was in the back. She was talking to the other person that lived in the apartment. And I don't know what she was on, if she did something before we left the apartment, but I don't. She was like dancing. She was like twirling around the sidewalk because she was just super excited. And we come to a crosswalk, and Brandon's walking across the crosswalk. There's cars stopped right there at a red light. And then all of a sudden, we turn around. We see Sheila. She's doing like a little ballerina twirl. We're just like, that bitch. Like, We keep walking. We make it to the other side. And then all we hear is,
"Hello, Taylor."
and me and Brandon just look at each other. And we're like, why? Why? We didn't even know what had happened yet. We just had a feeling that she was going to be on the ground holding her foot. So we turn around. She's on the ground doing this. And she's laughing about it. So we're just like slowly walking up, like crossing our fingers, hoping nothing bad happened. You just fell and embarrassed yourself, right?
What?
Good night, gone. She looks at us and says, I broke my foot. I can't get up. I can't pick her up. She's twice my size. I can't. So I don't know how to help her get across. But I did anyways. I put her over my shoulder. Brandon put her other arm over his shoulder. And we're walking across the street. We hear people in the car laughing their asses off. Cannot believe how goofy this girl is. Cannot believe that she just did a freaking ballerina Barbie twirl and fell on her ass and broke her foot.
I can't believe she did that either. That's freaking insane.
She's on the ground off the crosswalk on the sidewalk now, and she says that she needs to go to the hospital because her foot is broke. She's sure of it, and I'm like, listen, Sheila, your foot is not broke. You're overreacting, because that's what she was known for. She was known for overreacting with situations. I just thought, it's a little sprain. You'll be okay. Everything will be fine. It might hurt right now. And I was like, try to walk on it. We spent like maybe 10 minutes trying to get her to walk on it. And all she was doing was crying her eyes out so loud in the middle of the street. I was scared to death the cops were going to come. So I'm like, listen, guys, I'm calling an Uber. We're going to go there. We're going to drop you off at the hospital and we're going to see what's wrong with you. So I get in an Uber. She's crying. Take her to the hospital. It's only like a couple of blocks away, but me and Brandon could not carry her. There was no way. And then the other two people, the roommates, they didn't want to be a part of it. I don't blame them. We take her to the hospital. We're like, hey, our friend, we think she's broke her foot. Take her back. And we waited for 2 hours at the hospital, and we kept asking, hey, how's our friend doing? Is she okay? Is she going to be out anytime soon? They're like, no, it's not looking good. We don't think so. They had a line of people, and we're like, oh my God, we're exhausted. We told the hospital to give us a call whenever she was ready to be picked up, because they would not let us back there for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because we wasn't family, but they wouldn't let us back there. I went back to the apartment. I sat by my phone, and I waited for a phone call. It finally came. I went straight to pick her up. When we got to the hospital, the nurse is rolling someone out in a wheelchair. It was her. She broke her damn foot. She had it wrapped up in bandages. She was loopy as hell, man. I have never seen someone so loopy in my life. She was speaking a language I had never heard of before. She was smacking people around. I don't know if she was overdoing it, but she was on something that I've never seen before. She's already crazy. Those drugs made her 10 times crazier. Just listen. So we take her back to the apartment complex. Her and Brandon keep going at it. Brandon, is immature and sassy, and I'm like, do not argue with her, please. But she keeps arguing with him, and I'm like, let it go. Let it go. She's on medication right now. Just don't do anything. And Brandon is recording her. I don't know. I don't think he was going to post it on anything, but he recorded her. He actually did post it on his Snapchat. Oh, yeah. So he recorded her on his Snapchat while she was being crazy. It was funny crazy almost, so it wasn't that bad. She didn't really know that he done that. I saw him do that, but I thought it was actually kind of innocent, so I didn't really say anything. I am literally babying this girl. I am taking care of her. I take her to the bathroom. I undress her. I put on her pajamas. I get her food. I feed her, and she's spitting it out of her mouth at me in my face, and I'm so pissed off because I'm thinking that this is some stupid act. How can you act so ignorant right now? I know you're on medication, but you're acting like you're 4. I fed her, and she decided she wanted to go to bed, so I take her to her bed in the room. It was an air mattress. And I lay her down, I prop her foot up, I prop her back up, I make sure she's completely comfortable. After all of that whole entire thing, I needed to relax. It was really a lot to handle at one time, and especially taking care of her was overwhelming, I have to say. So I go in the living room. I'm just kind of sitting there on my phone, and I hear her and Brandon. They're going at it again. I don't even know why, honestly. It was probably over something stupid, but I was just ignoring it, thinking that it'll go away. They're almost 20 years old. What could happen, right? I hear Brandon scream.
What have you done?
I run in there as fast as I can because I thought she killed him. I really thought that she killed him. I look, and his air mattress is popped. And I just see Brandon like sitting there like on his air mattress while it is deflating. It is going down. And he's just sitting there like, and then I look over at Sheila, and she has this crazy look in her eye, and she has a fork in her hand. That same fork that I fed her with. So that means she took that fork whenever I was feeding her and took it with her for whatever reason. And honestly, thinking back about that fork, it scares me. Why did she take that fork with her? I really don't know. She had that fork in her hand like this.
And I'm like, oh my god, what did you do?
Where is he going to sleep? This is insane. No, please, no. Brandon is so mad. He's getting ready to smack the shiz out of her, guys. I had to hold him back from doing that. Like, listen, she's on medication right now. She doesn't know what she's doing. She was laughing her ass off. She thought it was funny. Oh my god, I felt so bad for him. He was really upset because air mattresses, they're really expensive, guys. I don't think he had that much money anyways, and I offered to go buy him another air mattress, but he wouldn't let me. He had to sleep on the floor that night. I could not believe that she murdered his mattress. It was murdered. His mattress was done. It had like the biggest holes in it. We tried to tape it up, but it just didn't work. They actually were going at it even whenever she was off the medication. Like, they kept arguing. They could not get along. It was miserable in that room. And unfortunately, since Sheila is like very bossy, she wanted me not to be friends with him either while we was all together because of I don't even know. It was stupid. And I didn't understand why, but she was getting mad at me. And I kept telling her, like, I'm not going to get mad at him because he didn't do anything to me. And it turned into, like, why aren't you on my side type of thing. I don't know. It was really dumb. That night was miserable, and Brandon slept on the floor. The next day, Sheila wakes up, and she's just saying my name over and over again. I finally wake up, and I look over, and she's just like, look. She's laying on her bed, and her bed is flat on the ground. Her air mattress is done for. It's freaking done. So immediately I go to Brandon. I'm like, hey, you popped her air mattress, didn't you? Because you were mad at her. And he said, no, I didn't. So she could hear it, and she was like, yeah, you did. Who else would do it? And really, honestly, who would do it? And he was like, I don't know. Maybe your heavy cast or whatever deflated your air mattress. And that's what we thought at the time because her cast was pretty heavy. So we thought that her air mattress just did not hold up well. I believe Brandon. I really did. But when he got me in privacy, he was like,
Damn right, I popped that air mattress with a freaking pin.
he popped it while we were both asleep. I was like shaking my head the whole time, like, what? Are you serious? Guys need to quit murdering air mattresses. Oh my god. They ended up still yet not being friends. I don't think she found out that he did it until like later on. But that whole entire trip, like the rest of it, I took care of her. She was becoming really abusive towards me. She was telling me what to do, and if I didn't do it the way that she liked it, she was so mean to me. And I don't know, like, I was really there for her. I mean, as much as a friend could be, especially with her foot broken or whatever. I don't know, she threw that in my face a lot, like, you're not gonna help me, my foot is broken. And I did all I could for her. Like, I paid for a lot of things for her as well. I wouldn't take it back, but like, still, like, she was just not thankful for anything that I was doing. She was treating me like crap. Brandon and her continued to fight like the rest of the trip. Like, days went by and they were still arguing, and like I said, like, she was mad that I would not stop being friends with him. And I told her to her face, like, I'm not going to stop being friends with someone. Like, why would you do that? That is so hurtful and heartbreaking. Like, I'm not going to stop being friends with someone just because of you. And I don't know if you guys have ever had a friend like that, but it's really overwhelming having someone treat you like that. And I think that that is abuse. So I did not want to be her friend anymore. And I even told her, like, I can't take this anymore from you. Like, you have made this trip like so miserable since you got here. Whenever it was me and Brandon, like, it was fine, but now you're here, and like, this whole time, like, you've made a fight every single night. And it was the truth. Like, she fought every single night. She cried almost every single night. So I told her I didn't want to be her friend anymore, and we wasn't friends. Like, we stopped being friends. And she went and stayed somewhere else. She went and stayed at a person that we made friends with at a party's house that she didn't even know. It was dumb. And I'm like, fine, let them take care of you. Like, I've had it with you. I did all I could for her, guys. Like, it was insane. But yeah, she's a psycho. She really is. Like, even though, like, she was on meds when she popped his air mattress, like, she done it out of spite. She done it to be mean. I don't know. Like, I could not. She was too much to have as a friend. If you guys have a friend like that or had a friend like that, comment down below some of the things that happened. I would really like to know. I'd like to read some of your guys' comments and your stories. Other than that, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed the story time. Make sure you like the video. Comment down below what you want to see next. I'll be happy to tell you some of the crazy parties that I went to in California. So thumbs it up if you want that. I think that's about it. I love you guys very much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!